Good morning, seventh graders. Welcome to our technology class. So this is week 24. We're back from the break. Thank you to the kids who have sent in work over the break. I'm going through all the emails that everybody sent in. So hopefully by the end of the week, I'll be able to get through everything, and then your grade link will be updated with your updated grades. So thank you. There's no new typing this week. So if you need to catch up on typing, you could do that this week. I just decided not to give any new typing. And we are continuing with our digital citizenship lessons. So I believe we have, like, after today, maybe 2 more, and then we're done with the whole unit for 7th grade for that. And then we're actually going to be moving into computer science and doing coding. And pretty much we spend most of the end of the school year doing a lot of coding. So we kind of move out from doing our lessons that are kind of more intellectual discussions about different topics. Even though we're not really having discussions, I'm talking to a video, but hopefully it's getting you to start thinking about these things. And then we're moving into our critical thinking, problem solving, coding work. So it's very different, in the sense, the two things, but they are related because we do need to have a balance, right? We can't be staring at the screen all day. It'll drive us all crazy. We do need a break from it. And for you guys, especially your mental health, right? Like just knowing when your limit has been crossed with your interactions with people online, and making sure that you're keeping them friendly and kind and sweet and loving. I'm trying to throw out some positive words because our topic today is talking about cyberbullying, and this is a really serious topic. And I'm actually going to be showing you guys a video about hate speech. And I feel like that's so related and goes along with cyberbullying because there's so much hate on the internet, towards people, because I feel like it's easier for people to hate because they're like, well, the screen protects me. And I can type whatever I want. I would never say this in person to someone, but I can sure type it to them. I can post a comment on their picture or their video and totally trash talk it and not even feel bad because, like, oh, I didn't see them in person. But they're a real person, just like you are. So that's why we're going to be talking about, what is cyberbullying, how to respond to it, and how to really make sure that you are the positive people. You need to be the light on the internet, not the dark. There's enough dark out there. We need more light, right? So what is cyberbullying? Let's move to that. So we know what bullying is. And if you've been with me for years, we do this every year. We go over bullying. We talk about, you guys share experiences that you've had. And we've even talked about cyberbullying, right? Which is basically bullying, except it's through the internet, on devices, websites, apps, right? And it has the intention to harm or hurt someone, bring them down. And it can be so detrimental. I mean, this is life. We've seen kids who have committed suicide over cyberbullying, right? Because it just got too much. They couldn't handle it. And so for you guys, it really is just saying, like, who am I in the whole thing? Like, am I just a bystander who just kind of observes and sees cyberbullying happening but never does anything? Am I a cyberbully? Am I a victim? Am I an upstander, which I hope that everybody is, somebody who actually does something, right? And we're going to be talking about our most used word of technology class, empathy. We've been studying about empathy since kindergarten, right? Because this is so, I think honestly, this is probably like the #1 life skill. Being able to like think about other people more than you think about yourself, and be like, how is it going to make them feel? How are they feeling? What are they going through? What is that like for them? It makes you a better friend. It makes you a better person. It makes you a true light in the community that you're in, whether it's an online community, your school class, your family. And so that's why I feel like it just keeps coming up wherever we go. We can't get away from it. And that's because God created us to be in community with other people, and that you need empathy to do that successfully, right? You know, like if you're just only thinking about you and you never think about how other people feel, then it's going to be hard for you to really connect on a deeper level with anybody, because, and the internet can really be getting in the way too, because you can't always hear the tone of voice through a comment, and really know the true feelings of somebody when you're just typing back and forth, right? So you really do almost need like that extra dose of empathy to be able to be the person that, you know, is loving and kind and takes time to think about other people. So I want to actually put on the video that I want to show you guys. And it's just kind of, it's not like, it talks a little bit, I believe, about cyberbullying, but it's more just talking about the hate that we see on the internet. And I mean, it's like, it's awful nowadays how it's just, the internet is filled with so much hate. And you guys, you know, I'm sure you've been exposed to it. You guys go on, I mean, even just on news sites, like it's just so tragic to see the state of our world sometimes, you know, and just how people can be so cruel to each other. And it's just like, how do you even live like that? You know, just acting like that to somebody. And so I just hope it'll kind of bring an awareness to you guys and get you to start thinking about, you know, this question. Why do you think it's important to try to empathize with others? What is that going to do? How is it going to help? So let me put the video on and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Okay.
When I go online, I see hate speech everywhere.
Usually it's about race or religion.
And I've seen this all in social media, Facebook, YouTube.
I've definitely seen hate speech in comment sections.
Basically every single platform. There's always that one racist or sexist comment that's always going to be there.
I don't think you have to go very far to find it.
I don't have a need to go digging for it.
It's everywhere.
I define hate speech as anything that's threatening or meant to hurt somebody else.
Anything you say or do that is like kind of like attacking any part of someone, whether it's like what they look like, their beliefs.
I'm not sure of like the exact definition of hate speech.
Any way you use your words to oppress or harm somebody else, it doesn't necessarily have to be a derogatory term or a slur. It could just be words that we use in our everyday sentences.
The meaning of it has become really vague, or at least really wide.
Someone is no longer just being offensive when what they're saying is marginalizing or hurting a whole community of people. For example, their religion, their race. If that's what you're going for, that's no longer just you being mean. That's hate speech.
I have definitely encountered hate speech online. I found it a lot more on social media than I have in real life.
I see it in maybe comments on YouTube videos or tweets on Twitter.
Twitter has a huge amount of hate speech. It's such an open platform for people to just type down what they think and send it off.
I definitely think YouTube is one of the places where you most see racist or like sexist comments.
I've noticed it mostly on social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube through jokes.
I tend to see it on memes or funny posts or meant to be funny posts.
And I think it's that those type of people that they'll say it over social media, but they won't say it in person because they're too afraid and they don't want to own up to having that kind of ideology.
I don't think it's a joke to me. If it's racist, then they post it to be racist because that's what they're thinking about.
Some close friends of mine from middle school actually created a private Instagram account and they used it to post racist, ableist, sexist, xenophobic pictures.
Last year, someone created an extremely anti-Semitic Instagram account, and it was always so personal and so targeted. And I wish that I could say that was the last time that something like that had happened at our school, but it isn't.
It made me kind of question my place and like where I belong in this school, because it's supposed to be our sanctuary space, and students within this very building in the same classrooms as me are posting photos that dehumanize me. It was hurtful.
I think that people are posting hate speech online because, for the first part, it's easier for people to talk through a screen.
It's almost like a sheet in front of you where you can cover your face, but sound still goes through. So people can say whatever they want and kind of get away with it.
I do think that xenophobia is one factor to why people use hate speech.
Part of it is just to get a reaction, or part of it is just to get attention.
The people who put these types of posts on media, they seem to be going through something themselves.
It's maybe because of their past, or they've been hurt before and they want to hurt others to make them feel better about themselves.
I've never seen someone post hate speech being a friendly person who is just trying to say their opinion. I think the hate speech is like put out there just to target a certain group.
It's such a large platform that so many people could see that it's really easy to get your message across. And people are going to read it because it's on social media.
So when I see something on my timeline, I go out of my way to report it. I go out of my way to stop that because I know somebody else isn't going to take it the same way that I do.
How you feel like when somebody's talking like some negative things about you, that it hurts like your feelings.
Yeah, I feel a sort of social responsibility. We all should be lifting each other up rather than putting each other down.
When I see some people racist things online, I just don't do nothing about it because I feel like I ask myself, what can I do to stop this?
I can't really do anything about it. Kind of just have to ignore it.
It's really hurtful to the other person. I don't think they realize it. It really demoralizes them and lowers their self-esteem.
I would report hate speech when I see it.
When we see these posts on our timelines or on our Instagrams and our feeds, Twitter, Snapchat, even group chats, we feel the need to speak out. And when we speak out, we give those people who hurt us that attention that they always craved.
I feel like if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it.
Everyone always argues with these people, and I do too. But
I think people are free to express what they have to say. I don't think it should be at the cost of putting somebody else down.
Okay, so hopefully that video was resonating with you because you could see how kids your age, right? I mean, these are kids that are seeing this every day. They're seeing hate speech and they're seeing how it really can impact just the mental well-being of themselves, of other people, right? And it's like, you know, kind of what we've been talking about, like what we allow to come into our minds, right, to fill us up. And that is something that we have to be intentional about, right? And if we see or are a part of something that is just so hateful, you know, it's going to start getting into us, right? And then we don't want to become people who are desensitized to feelings and emotions. And like, we kind of act like robots, you know, it's like, we're not robots, we're humans and we're created in God's image. And so it really does matter, you know, how we are as people and how we treat other people. So I actually pulled this up. This is from the lesson. This is the 7th grade lesson about cyberbullying from Second Step. If you remember, gosh, it was a couple of weeks ago that I told you guys we were going to be doing this lesson. So I was saving to incorporate it into this lesson. So cyberbullying, right, as we know, is specifically targeted at someone or like a group of people, but it has the elements of what we just watched in the video, the hate speech, right? Targeting hate towards somebody, right? With the intention of bringing them down. These are some tips that they give in the lesson. So for avoiding cyberbullying. So it says, don't give out personal information like your name, phone number, address, email, name of your school, name of your family members, pictures of yourself, These are all things that, you know, like whatever you post, you have to be okay with the fact that anybody can see it and post on it. And if you're not, then you probably shouldn't post it. And the more information that you give out about yourself, the easier it will be for somebody to target you. And it makes you more vulnerable. So you really have to stop and think, what am I putting on the internet? So pause and think twice before you send messages, right? So think about the message. You can't get it back once you've sent it. Could the message make you vulnerable to bullying because it's very personal, potentially embarrassing or revealing? Could the message get you in trouble if an adult saw it? How might other people feel when they read the message? So just realizing that anything that you send electronically could potentially be sent to anybody and a lot of people. So that goes with a picture that you send, a message that you send. So of course you would never want to be like gossiping or talking about someone else or sharing too much information about yourself. Because chances are, even if it's someone that you know, you can't they could send it to other people, right? And so you need to be okay with what you're sharing, that if the whole world saw it, would you be okay with that, right? And you don't want to put yourself in a place where you're giving out things that are just things that you're like, I'm not comfortable with this. This would be so embarrassing. This would be devastating if this got out to other people, right? So you need to really be careful about that to protect yourself, right? And so you never ever should say something in an electronic message that you wouldn't say face to face. And you should really be like, am I just typing this because it's easier to type it than say it? Well, and I hope it's something kind and I hope it's something nice. And you should never ever forward gossip or hurtful or threatening messages. If you get a hold of it, you should notify an adult and not be participating in it. So here, these are some tips that they give to respond to cyberbullying. So you should always document it. If somebody is harassing you or threatening you through the internet, take screenshots, save the messages, because those can become evidence, especially if law enforcement, like the police, need to get involved if it gets very serious, right? You should always report cyberbullying. So tell an adult, tell a parent, tell a teacher. Gosh, if it even gets super serious, you might even need to inform your internet service provider or your cell phone provider to block somebody, right? Or your school administration, if it's going around and it's spreading throughout the whole school. The police. I mean, if it's ever, I know we had the lesson about sexual harassment, but on the internet, if someone ever sends you an inappropriate content, it could be a nude picture. It could be a picture of, something that's going on that that it's not appropriate. Please let an adult know. I mean, these types of things, especially any type of a nude image of an underage person, I mean, that's illegal. I mean, the police would have to get involved right away. Those types of things they don't mess around with, because the police are serious about protecting underage kids from predators, people who are trying to get these types of images from kids. But then you have kids who think they're being silly, sending these things to each other, and that's serious. So I'm not saying this to scare you, but I'm saying this to make an awareness to you guys. Never send any type of image that you wouldn't be okay with the police seeing. And you should know you could end up with serious consequences with that. So you should stop and think, if the police saw this, right? And you shouldn't be sending it anyways. You shouldn't even have to say that to yourself. You should just be like, I'm a Christian. Is this even godly, what I'm typing right now or sending right now? I mean, that should be the main thought that goes, that's my thing, that I would think. You should never write back aggressively to someone who's cyberbullying, because then you become part of the problem. You should just ignore it. Don't respond to it. Let an adult know. document it by taking screenshots, and then block the person. And I know it's tricky sometimes if like it's happening with somebody that you know in your circle of friends, which I hope that's not happening here. But in like larger schools, like some of the kids shared in the video, you know, there's kids starting fake Instagram accounts about other kids. I mean, it just sounds awful what these kids are doing to each other. I don't know. That's why, like, sometimes I think the internet can be so helpful in the sense of, you know, being able to gain knowledge of a lot of things and using it for good, right? But then there's just this whole dark world out there. And I just don't want you guys being a part of that. I just feel like it's just not, there's nothing good about it. There's nothing really beneficial that's going to enrich your life. So really just like reflect this week, like, what am I a part of? Like, am I a part of like hating on people on the internet, or like, am I a part of uplifting people? Like, maybe ask yourself that, reflect on that, you know, and try to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. So remember, don't blame yourself if you receive a bullying or inappropriate message or picture or image or whatever. People can be cruel, right? And it's illegal behavior is not your fault. But remember, don't respond, don't engage. Let an adult know, and don't feel ashamed. You know, you guys are learning, right? That's why we do these lessons. So if it's ever happened to you and you want to talk about it, of course I'm here for you. Like, we're not here to judge, and we're not here to make you feel bad or anything. We're here to give you the skills to know how to protect yourself and keep yourself safe. And that's not only physically, that's mentally and emotionally protecting yourself from the internet and the people that are out there. So if you are a bystander and you do witness cyberbullying happening, become an upstander. Don't just let it go by, right? Acknowledging that the bullying is unfair, encourage the person if it's a friend, be supportive, right? Don't forward it, be a part of it. Try to be an upstander and be the light to the situation. So we are actually going to, let me go back to the lesson here. There's a few scenarios that we're going to take a look at that you guys are going to have to do. So let's kind of look at them together, and then you're going to do these for homework. Okay. So the first one says, Kevin sends his friend Jose a short video he made at home, a reenactment of a famous fantasy movie scene. Jose, laughing at how Kevin looks, shows it to another boy, Max, at school. Max laughs at Kevin too, and then decides to post it on a video sharing website. Hundreds of people then view Kevin's video. Many nasty comments are posted. Every day, Kevin goes online to check the site and sees more comments like idiot, fat nerd. Every day he goes to school and hears similar cruel comments from some of his classmates. No adults know about the situation, not even Kevin's parents. One teacher overhears the boys laughing about the video, but isn't sure what they're talking about. I mean, this is really sad to me. I mean, like, I don't know. But this is something that does happen. And so, you know, I can't obviously hear your answer, but like, how does it even make you feel to hear this, right? How does it even make you feel to hear that kids are doing this to each other? So what you're going to be doing is taking perspectives. So you're going to take the viewpoint of either Jose, Max, or the teacher. And then write down who you're taking the viewpoint of, and then you're going to answer these questions about it. I acted the way I did because one thing I could have done differently was, and something that might have stopped me from doing something differently was, and you're going to answer those questions. What had you not considered when you thought about the perspective that you chose? So think about some other things that you might, so you're kind of using empathy. And what could have helped Kevin in the situation? What actions by which people would have been beneficial to him? So what would have helped him the most? So that's what you guys are going to think about. Here is one more scenario for you to also think about. Mia is going through her Instagram feed. She sees that her friend Tess has posted a photo with her where they're both making funny faces while eating frozen yogurt. Mia also sees the people that they go to school with have commented on the picture. OMG, lay off the sweets, fatty. So lame. Looks pretty dumb for someone who's supposed to be so smart. What is she wearing? Imagine that you're a friend of Mia and Tess and you see the picture and comments on Instagram. What could you do to be an ally or an upstander? So all of the comments look negative, right? Like they're hateful against these girls. So what could an upstander do? They could post something positive, right? To make the person feel good. Because they're like, oh my gosh, everything they're posting is negative. And like, you know, as Christians, like we have the Holy Spirit and like it should be going off inside of you when you see another human being trashed and brought down. There should be something inside of you that rises up that's like, oh, this is awful. Nobody should be talking to somebody like this. And then it should like want to make you do something, right? Kind. And so again, that's really where empathy comes into play. And where you then can be an upstander and an ally to people who are hurting. So what challenges might there be in doing the actions that you described? So whatever it is that you come up with. And so those are the questions. So it's a good week for you to really think about, you know, who you are online and how you can be an upstander and stand up to people that are just mean cyberbullies and just cruel people. And thinking about how you can be showing love and bringing the light to people online, right? So because an upstander, this is just a review, but they respond to a bullying situation by confronting the bully or by telling an adult. So they step up and they help. And an ally responds by supporting the person being bullied, right? So they really try to be a voice that is positive and encouraging and kind of like the counter voice to the bully, right? And these things can really, really help to make a difference in the people's lives, right, who are being bullied, and even to put a stop to the bullying. So hopefully this is like more of a review this week, but hopefully it's a time for you to reflect on who you are online. And if you've ever experienced any of these things, like, you know, what have you done? What would you do differently? And so I think I'll leave it at that. But so your homework is to finish typing in the answers to these scenarios. So please be thoughtful with them. And then again, there's no typing or anything. So just catch up if you're missing anything. All right. Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.